This is Don't Forget the Small Stuff, and today we're talking about Gone Girl. Andy, you excited for this one?
Thrilled.
Somehow, I don't quite believe you. I think it's your chin. Can you just cover it up for me, please?
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Good. Welcome to Don't Forget the Small Stuff, the podcast that celebrates the overlooked and forgotten little moments in films. I'm Jess, and with me today is Andy.
Hello again.
And another Jess.
Hello.
New to the podcast. Welcome. You can find us online at smallstuffcast.com. We are at smallstuffcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And you can contact us using email at smallstuffcast.com. And our music is by Skeleton King. Find more of Skeleton King's work by following the link in the show notes. Jess, I believe you know Skeleton King.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah? Any particular connection you have with?
I think I met him once at the park.
At the park. Amazing. Gone Girl. It might be one of the most recent films we've done on the podcast, I think, Andy. Maybe The Raid was more recent.
I think The Raid, but I think you're right. Although, actually, I was surprised to see it was 2014. So
yeah, still quite old now.
Yeah. So are we.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but not this one. New Jess. So Jess, officially welcome to Don't Forget the Small Stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really good to have you. It's a bit of youth. Nice to have another feminine voice on the podcast as well. I think I've been on at you at work to join us for quite a while, haven't I?
Well, we've been basically having a lot of informal podcast discussions for many years now, haven't we, about films and books and the rest. So
yeah. Work is better when Jess is there. That's true. I don't know if it's worth at least acknowledging that, yes, there's two Jesses on the podcast today, but
I don't think that's ever happened anywhere before, ever.
No, exactly. Especially not at our work.
No, not at all.
This is untrodden ground.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's not worry about it. People can figure it out. I'll
be the Jess with all the funny points.
Okay.
Almost certainly.
Yeah, thank you. What are our overall impressions of Gone Girl? Let's keep it relatively brief, but have we got any kind of overall thoughts?
Well, actually, we could spin that a little bit because, as far as I'm aware, this was Jess's choice.
Well,
I will press.
No, I do have the point, but I started off choosing this because I really enjoyed this film. Mm-hmm. And then now, having watched it several times, I can't say that view has been sustained.
See, this is the podcast that makes you hate films. That's what we are.
It is worth asking the question, though, is that because you've seen it so many times and it's become annoying now that you're having to watch it, or is it because you just don't think it's as good as you thought it once was?
I think it's slight film fatigue.
Okay.
And then also slightly that there were just a few moments where I was just shaking my head at the screen, just like, ugh.
That's what it does to you, though. You start looking at these things with a slightly academic eye. And, I mean, it's getting more of a joke now. Most of my points are kind of salty takes on, why would you do that? Well, that doesn't make any sense, because you do kind of put it under the microscope a little bit, and actually sometimes things don't bear up quite so well as you would have hoped.
That's a fair point. And I think just talking about this film specifically, I was actually worried that we weren't going to have any, for example, incidental characters to talk about or small stuff, because everything in this film is very intentionally there for a reason. There isn't a lot of fat, so to speak, like unnecessary jokes and what have you. I mean, I was watching, I had the opposite opinion, actually. I kind of loved it the first time I saw it. Then I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's not so good the second or third time. Watching it again just the other day for this, I was thinking, wow, this is amazing. This is a master filmmaker doing his thing. I just think it's, it's precise and moody and all the other positive words you can say about our film.
I feel this is better than I remember. I don't like it as much as I remember because it's super dark. But I think it's real good. And the ratings, again, I was really surprised. It's really highly rated. I'm not surprised because it's, bad and it's rated highly, but I think it is surprisingly high.
Shall we? Have you got anything else you wanted to mention?
No, I think I'll probably end up saying it all later.
Okay.
So.
All right. Have we all read the book? No.
I have. Yes.
I actually haven't.
Well, which is ridiculous because you've read every book.
I know. I feel almost like I can't believe that I haven't read the book and that you guys have, and I won't be able to talk about it.
Oh, I can't remember any of it. I mean, don't worry about that.
Yeah, I don't have a strong memory. There's a few bits in the book that I remember, but I think I'd seen the film first, and so it was probably, oh yeah, I remember that bit in the film, when I was reading it. And so you have that picture in your head of the characters in the film rather than... I think it's always better to read the book first.
Can I ask, is it film or book? Which one was better in your opinion?
I think that's real. I think probably film, but maybe only because I saw the film first.
Is it also because the film has Rosamund Pike?
No. Maybe. Perhaps.
I actually think I prefer the book, but that's based on the fact that I remember thinking that after watching the film, after reading the book. I can't put any...
I think that
logic to it
happens,
then.
doesn't it? Like the thing you experience first is the thing you kind of have the preference for. Shall we move on to the small stuff?
Let's.
Okay. So I'm going to start. I want to talk about the opening scenes. So there's the scenes in where it's basically showing the town, setting the scene, showing the town almost sort of waking up. And I just wanted to reference, and it's a personal thing, but I lived in a town in the Midwest. It wasn't probably it was slightly smaller than North Carthage is meant to be. But all of those scenes are very familiar to me. Like the main street with the little, like the bars and, whatever, all the little, and, the houses with the picket fences, and not that they are necessarily picket fences in this film, but, it sets that scene really well. And it's the noises, the cicadas, like chirping or whatever cicadas do. So I immediately related quite well to this film because of the scene setting right at the beginning. Did you guys have anything you wanted to say about that? And I'm including the bit where he goes to the bar and we meet him and Margot for the first time.
Yeah, I have actually one of my favourite small stuff points is a contender with a later point, but
okay.
I thought it was fabulous so when Nick walks in to his bar, the game that he's giving Margot is Mastermind. And she says to him, or he says, it's your favourite film when you were younger. And she says, no, it was yours. And I feel like such kind of brilliant foreshadowing. It kind of cuts through the character of Nick in that he's about to go through this whole apparently just awful experience, but it kind of reveals this thing about his character that there's some part of you that actually loves this. And the other books or games, I think I wrote down there, Widowmaker, Jailbait, Emergency.
What were they? The games on the shelf?
Yeah. So
that's really good.
Yeah,
love that.
It's great.
The other one I picked up, actually, and it was going to be my point on this, was Ouija.
Oh.
What's that? That's literally a board game, a Parker board game, like a Ouija board game. That sounds fun, folks. Interestingly, they start then playing Game of Life, which is, again, to keep that metaphor going. It's quite funny.
So Mastermind, I used to love Mastermind because it was very logical. It was a logic game, isn't it, really? But you're not necessarily following clues, but you are kind of using logic to kind of figure out a puzzle, essentially, aren't you? And so, it does foreshadow the film really nicely.
Yeah.
And also, it tells us about him.
That's the bit I love, that it's kind of foreshadowing the plot, but in a sense it just undermines the whole this whole idea that this poor Nick, who's kind of being dragged along by his manipulative wife, and he hates it and he wishes that she was this different person, because I think a lot of the, as well, go on to say, a lot of the film seems to be saying, actually, Nick, you love this, and you just gotta, some part of you loves this.
I think actually we should have perhaps done this from the start. We don't normally do this on the podcast, but we should say spoilers for Gone Girl. If you haven't watched Gone Girl, stop listening to the podcast, because there are twists that you don't want to have spoiled. Anyway, sorry, I should have said that right at the beginning. But anyway, we're nearly 9 minutes in. That's fine. Then we get, throughout at least the first half of the film, we get lots of flashbacks and like sections where she's entering stuff into her diary from the past.
I just thought of something I did want to say.
Yeah.
It's just a piffy comment that Margot makes in the bar.
Yeah.
Where she says, whoever's taken her is bound to bring her back.
Yeah.
which I think is a great line.
Yeah.
Clearly she's no fan of...
Well, she says a little bit later on, doesn't she? I didn't enjoy spending time with her, but it doesn't mean I don't care about her, which I think is, Margot. Well, she'll come up later, but yeah, Margot. You wanted to talk about the sort of the scene in the past, the first one, Jess?
Yeah, so it's a... I'm springboarding from that scene, but actually I could have talked about any number of scenes.
Yeah.
But that first introduction, when she says, what is your type? And it's the kind of, is it A, is it B, is it C? And it's so interesting because throughout the entire film, there's this kind of continual conversation around, I'm not this type of person. I mean, I've got some examples. She says, it's so many different characters, all the phrase of, I'm not this kind of girl, I'm not this type of person, I'm not this type of couple. It's all, it's never talk of the individual, it's always talk of the caricature and kind of categorizing people into different types. And what I thought was so great about that, I mean, if you watch the film with that in mind, it is there again and again and again. You know, there's, Nick says about, I'm done pretending.
Yep.
Just this idea of a role. I think a role is the right word.
Someone that you feel like you're supposed to be, or society thinks you should be, or someone who you try to be.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like characters trying to be this person, or characters thinking other people are this certain role. You know, she talks about, let's never be this type of couple, Nick. It's again and again. And then right at the end, in the interview, so I am jumping ahead.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Long way ahead by the sounds of it.
But yeah, because it's a beautiful point in the sense, because the whole time they're talking about, you know, we're pretending. And then right at the end, after he's just shoved her against the wall and they do the interview, she says, we're honest with each other. You know, and actually, that's probably why they can't leave each other, because there's no pretending by the end. And it's just, I think, a very interesting scene to start that up.
And that's it. I mean, again, talking about the end, but then they continue to walk off into the sunset pretending. You know, nothing really changes.
I don't know. I think they're being honest with each other by the end.
Honest with each other, but pretending to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Is that they can be who they are with each other, but to the rest of the world, they have to be this different version.
Yeah,
of
and still
themselves,
manipulative to the end, aren't they?
Yeah.
When they'll kiss me now or hold my hand and all that stuff. It's
Then, after being back in the past for the first time, we're in North Carthage again, and we're at the point at which Nick realizes that Amy's gone. Jess, you wanted to say something about that scene, I think.
Yeah, and it very much is a small thing, but it's just whenever Rhonda is who she is, the police woman, right?
Rhonda Boney.
Whenever she turns up in, I think, any scene, she has a cup of coffee in her hand.
Yes.
And it just does my head in for some reason.
I really love it. I mean, it's a little. I mean, it's what this podcast is all about. It's just the small stuff, but that tells you something about that character.
But what is it telling you that she just has this absolute caffeine addiction?
But it's just a little character quirk. It's like in the film we're going to be doing next, in Ocean's 11, Brad Pitt's character is always eating.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, exactly.
So I just think, I mean, maybe it doesn't tell us anything about but it fleshes her out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it makes her, you know, and she's obviously on her way to work. She stopped by, you know, Quick Trip or something, got herself a coffee, and yeah, I like it.
Or maybe she was a great actor, but she just never knew what to do with her hands.
Yeah. I also love in the scene where he's showing the police around the house for the first time, there's two things that I want to point out. There's one where Rhonda starts sticking post-it notes on places, and Nick and the deputy share a look, and the deputy just kind of like shrugs and like almost rolls his eyes at Nick, like, yeah, she does this. And then also he points at one room down the corridor and says, that's the cat's room.
That was so good.
We've got a cat room.
Have you got a cat room?
No. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it says actually a little bit about their lifestyle, right? They don't need a house that big. They don't need a cat room. They don't need it. Yeah, they're just Like, well, we don't know what to do with that room, so we call it the cat's room.
Maybe it's that they are living the dream.
They have a cat room?
Yeah, they have the cat room.
We'll skip ahead a little bit, not very far, but when Nick is at the police station for the first time and they're just interviewing him and he's being quite reasonable and just sort of, he's not even really taking this very seriously at this point. But then his dad shows up and, you know, he's literally in the next room, but they've been trying to reach him all day. And the idea that they're trying to get across is that he's kind of getting a bit worked up and agitated, and the police front desk person is getting a bit put out by how agitated he's being. But I actually think he's being quite reasonable. He's literally saying, I've been in the other room. How hard is it for you to put two and two together and go, oh yeah, we're looking for this guy, but he's in the other room? And so he's getting worked up, and I think quite reasonably. But I don't know whether it's the filmmakers trying to portray that he can lose his temper, or whether it's just, I don't know what they're trying to say. But the desk clerk, her reaction annoys me. But then we get a shot of Rhonda kind of watching from the side, like kind of taking it all in, which is a little bit annoying, because he's quite reasonable and his dad's a piece of work.
His dad is such a piece of work, and I think it might actually maybe belong more in the music corner. But to my knowledge, the only bit of music that you hear with like words of song, if you will, is when he's driving his dad home, and it's "Don't fear the
Blue Oyster Cult," which seems apt.
Great stuff. But then at the police station, we meet Amy's parents, Mary Beth and whatever his name is. I can't remember the dad's name. And they have the press conference and that whole scene. So, Jess, do you want to mention something about that sort of sequence?
Yeah, I think it's just how I want to say dislikable, really, the parents are right from the beginning.
Really unpleasant looking people. Not looking, I don't mean that, but you're right. I didn't warm to any part of their characters.
And I think they slightly do that with the colours, in the sense that they're so beige. You know, the whole outfits from head to toe on both of them are literally beige, and it's so scripted. What they say,
and Dad is like almost emotionless and grey and just really plain, and I don't like him particularly. But the mum is also,
it's all for appearances, right?
Of course, yeah.
And it's got to the point where even in their day-to-day interactions with their son-in-law, it's still all about appearances, and it gives you an idea of how Amy is the way she is.
Do they hate him then? Because they
don't like him, do they?
They sort of allude to it later when they find out that, or whether they kind of strongly suspect he's done something with Amy. That it kind of the shackles break off, and they say something about, we've tried to like you or love you, whatever it is they say.
You definitely seem very cold, don't they? Yeah. But I think
they did steal. He did steal their daughter away to Missouri, I suppose. It's probably part of it, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's interesting you were saying about the all about appearances, because I think again it's that theme of like roles that people play and kind of the appearances, and how intoxicating it can be when someone, even if they are a murderer, big spoiler, or have tried to get you in prison for their murder, if you know the very real person who's not trying to be anything but this. So it cuts through well. Yeah.
They do point you towards findamazingamy.com.
Yeah?
Which redirects you to Disney's website now.
Does it? Okay.
Which is where I watched the Disney Plus.
Yeah. Okay. I had, for some reason, I hadn't even thought about trying that out. I wonder if the phone number still works.
You should try all of them.
What is it, Amy, for Amy Tips or something like that? 1-800-4-AMY Tips, I think.
Don't spell that wrong.
Yeah. Well,
or maybe do.
It's only a phone number, and I don't know what bad can happen. Jess, you wanted to say something about when they're following the first clue and they go to his office.
Yeah, I think this might have been the wrong section. I can't quite locate it in my mind now, but it's where Rhonda reads the first clue and then he says, "Oh, I know this one," and the smile that he does, and this is Nick. I just spend the whole time just being like face palming, like, oh, Nick, like, it's just useless. Well,
he spent the last 2 or 3 years not being able to figure out the clues, and so he's pretty proud of himself that he's figured out one of her clues, even though it was deliberately meant to be easy for him.
The clues. Can I talk about the clues for a bit? Now, this might be me missing a massive plot point here, but I don't really understand why Amy would leave the clues if she'd just been murdered. Well, she'd been murdered, right? So there's clues, and I guess the clues are they related to the anniversary? Is that the whole point?
Yeah. So every anniversary she does this for him. She leaves him on a treasure hunt with clues.
But actually, if they
Well,
yeah, because actually, if
but they specifically, the clues are leading him, but also the police, to the Punch and Judy thing, all of the gifts in the woodshed.
Well, I'll get to that. I think that's dumb.
yeah,
Okay, all right. But the point I'm making is it leads him and therefore the police, because remember, she changed the alarm at his dad's house so that when he went there, because he figured out the clue, that the next clue leads him to his dad's old house. When he gets there, the alarm will be going off and he won't be able to reset it and the police will show up. So she's leading him and therefore the police to this incriminating evidence.
It just seems ludicrously elaborate. All those things would have been found anyway in the due course of time.
I also, because if you were a police officer, surely you'd think, well, if this woman was surprise murdered, or I know the build up is there, this
surprise murdered,
rather than kind of carefully sitting in your chair waiting for death to
waiting for the
descend.
murder.
But if this was, you could question it, surely. I mean, she does actually. Rhonda does question it. She says, "Oh, it feels a bit."
Finding an envelope labeled clue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so she has to make it look like, I don't know. I don't have the same problem with it as you do.
If they weren't there, would the police say, "Well, this is suspicious because there are no clues, and she does this every year for you"?
No, but they wouldn't have had any reason to go to his dad's house. They wouldn't have had any reason to go to his office necessarily, perhaps. And also remember, she's trying to frame him. It's not like the police are going to figure this out eventually. It's like, no, I'm engineering a situation where the police will pin it on him. So it's all very deliberate on her part. I mean, maybe it's a bit much, but...
Well, Margot also does say, and Nick does say, the important part is the lessons and the playing God. So maybe to her, it's that it's not just enough that they find out. She has to control the steps in which it happens.
I think that's ultimately it, isn't it? It's her taking him through a journey of torture, essentially. Yeah. So, and she's sat there laughing at all the things that they're going to find out, and dragging it out as much as possible, because she could have just done the thing with the blood, left that mallet somewhere they would have found straight away, and they would have gone to the same conclusion.
And it does really illustrate. He illustrates his, I don't know if say flaws, but I mean, I do by the end find myself far more Team Amy than I am Team Nick.
I was quite surprised how quickly I hated Nick.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
Yeah, I think he's just.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit more sympathetic to Nick, but that's fine. That's fine. All right, let's move on to his dad's house. So we were talking about this when the alarm goes off. I just wanted to say something really quickly about his dad's house. So his dad has just moved. I don't know but his dad has been out in the care home for at least a year. His dad's house is still an absolute tip. I mean, there's glasses and dirty plates and stuff all over the countertops. And Nick says, whether he means it or not, Nick says he goes there every week to make sure it hasn't been burnt down or whatever. But like we're literally in my parents' house that we are in the process of going through, and we're having to clear every single room and sort everything out. Why haven't they tidied up? Is it just another example of Nick's malaise?
Why haven't they done the washing up?
Why have they? Yeah, why have they got so many jars on the side?
It's so horrible.
Yeah.
It's so horrible. Why bother with the alarm, frankly? Hopefully they'll break in and tidy up a bit.
Yeah. Or burn the place down and you can claim the insurance. Yeah.
Incidentally, that is the most annoying alarm I've ever seen in a film. It's pretty funny how he's trying to phone the company to get it turned off, and it's almost unbearable. I'm like, shut up, turn the flipping thing off, and then Rhonda comes in, and within seemingly seconds, I don't understand, who did she phone?
Well, no, I think it's that presumably the alarm company is also in contact with the police. Like it's
Yeah, I guess.
yeah.
It it looks like she phoned someone up, and
It is
the second they answer the phone, they turn the alarm off. But you're probably right.
It is quite convenient that it's Rhonda that follows up the call about the alarm.
Of course. Do you guys remember if in that scene she has a cup of coffee when she turns up?
No, I don't know.
I would love to know.
Watch it again. You should watch it again right now.
Oh no, I can't.
Right, we're going to skip on quite a few scenes. Actually, we want to go to the scene where they move to Missouri in the past. So. Yeah, Nick's mum is ill and they moved to Missouri. You had something to say, Jess, I think, on that scene.
Yeah, although I'm thinking that because the scene that I'm thinking of is where they're in that beautiful skyline and they're talking about the issues of the mum wanting to use the trust fund. The mum and dad wanting to use the trust fund.
In New York?
Yeah, so actually it's just, but then they do say about having to move and I think actually at that point.
Yeah.
It was just a small point, but do you know throughout such a large portion of the film, Nick is wearing this one blue shirt.
Mm-hmm.
She is wearing his blue shirt in that scene.
Okay.
She is.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah, and also what I found is interesting was that this whole beige and blue thing. So her parents are always in beige, and there's this one that I'm jumping slightly ahead, but when they're walking along the river and doing the search, and the parents are on the beige kind of ground. He's with the blue on the blue water, and then the blue house, he says no, the brown house, no, it's still blue. And then he says that he called it that because his dad, the spy used to call him Mr. Brown and things. Yeah. And I just found this blue and beige colouring theme really interesting.
Very good. You can come on this podcast again, Jess. You're finding things that we would never have found.
At the start, isn't Amy wearing a blue and, I guess, cream striped top?
She is. Yeah. What do you think the beige blue colour has any greater meaning, or do you just think they just went for a colour palette?
I think it probably does. I mean, beige is very boring, isn't it? And very sort of ordinary. So, I mean, I haven't paid attention to what colour the other characters are wearing, like Rhonda and Tanner and Margot and people like that. But I wonder if there's something there.
Well, I thought there was something in maybe for them to kind of be leading up with it and then for them to have that mention where he says, oh, I used to pretend that my dad was a spy called Mr. Brown, which was why he couldn't come visit. Maybe it's again this whole, I mean, I'm wrapping everything back up to this theme of pretense and roles. So maybe if I try and wrench it over there.
Okay, we're doing it. Good.
This is the most I've thought ever doing one of these podcasts. Thanks for bringing that to this.
Oh man,
it's kind of cerebral level that we're not particularly used to.
Yeah, we've got a lot to live up to next time if Jess isn't on it. Right, Jess, I think you're dying to talk about the scene where we first meet Andy. So what have you got to say about this?
I feel like I have to say, for the sake of the tape, I'm pinching my nose in frustration.
Okay, yeah, go on then.
No, what were you going to say?
Well, no, I was just going to say, so again, something that perhaps we should have said at the beginning, and maybe we even should have discussed before we started recording. This film covers more adult themes than any film we've covered before on Don't Forget the Small Stuff. And I wondered whether this might be the first ever non-PG Don't Forget the Small Stuff. I don't know. We'll see what we end up talking about, but...
well, I'll use the power of suggestion.
Okay. Right. So you go.
We've never done that. Oh no.
No, but I mean, obviously it's funny. I just find her character so unbelievably... I mean, the writing behind her character, just what... She opens the door. This guy she's been sleeping with who has a wife... she sees him on the TV as an accused murderer, and she's like, "Oh, baby, where have you been? I've missed you so much. Let me just take my top off for you." Like, it's just unbelievable. And she's just so, like, they make her so vapid, and it's so hot. The woman who plays her as well is, do you know, Emily Ratajkowski? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know she through fame through Blurred Lines, but incredible writer, an amazing essayist, and I just think. Gosh, I wonder if when performing those lines, she was thinking, why am I being such a vapid...
Yeah, I wonder whether...
Or maybe it was meant to be because she is...
I don't know. I feel like... I'm not sure at that point in the film that Nick is on the slate as the murderer. I mean, obviously they're investigating the disappearance, so I'm not quite sure she's there yet. You know, she probably knows Nick better than we do at this point. But
let me just paint you a picture.
Yeah.
So you're with someone having an affair with someone, and even though if you don't think they're the murderer, you're aware that their wife has gone missing in potentially tragic circumstances, and the first thing you would say to them is like, baby, where have you been? Like, you wouldn't be like, what's going on?
But you're worried about them, right? You're on their side. That's the kind of the point. She's on Team Nick because she loves him, and so you give him the benefit of the doubt, right?
But she just doesn't seem like a real person. I think that's my point. She just doesn't. Her writing is just not a real person.
Okay, agreed. She opens the door, and then all she cares about is the physical aspect of their relationship, and that just, it's lame, isn't it? It's really lame.
It's just like they make her lame, but maybe that's the point in that. Again, it's like you've got the intelligence of Amy, and then you've kind of got the intelligence,
the anti-Amy,
and he says in the proposal like, you challenge me, you surprise me, and then you've got this totally predictable. He kind of babies her and puts her top on for her, and maybe it's meant to be a contrast.
And actually, maybe more's the point is Nick goes with it, you know, and that just shows he's super weak at this point, isn't he?
Yes, I did want to mention that that scene. For a number of reasons, reminds me of the scene in True Detective when Woody Harrelson's character is having an affair with a younger woman. And I remember thinking in True Detective, like, Woody Harrelson, your character is married to Michelle Monaghan, like this wonderful, intelligent, beautiful woman. Why are you having an affair with anyone? And then, so they had to make it believable by making the person he's having the affair with like the most beautiful person on the planet. And I feel like there's an element of that, or at least it reminded me of that in this. Like there's some topless nudity in this, and I feel like it almost had to be there because otherwise, Nick, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you know,
your wife is Rosamund Pike.
Yeah. Have you seen your wife?
Yeah. But you know. Forgive my, crudity, but have you seen these boobs? It's like it's that, isn't it?
But then he doesn't say. I mean, not that he's going to say to his sister.
Yeah, have you seen her?
Yeah, have you seen her? I'll get her to come back in and take her top off if you want.
You say that, but take another look.
I know you're annoyed now, but would you reconsider? But I think we are thinking about it, I guess, because the line I actually wanted to talk about was when she says, "Talk to me every day, or I'll go crazy."
Yeah.
And in my head, I just have Amy being like, "Hold my beer."
Yeah.
I'll show you what crazy is. So
she's she's. I guess maybe you said it, and I kind of tried to sum it up by saying she's the anti-Amy, right?
Yeah.
She's the opposite. She's everything that Amy isn't, or rather, Amy is everything she isn't.
And maybe that's her, and I think that's the thing.
Counterpoint.
There's characters when they are a plot device, and so the dialogue just feels kind of weak.
Yeah, I'm with you. You also wanted to say something about the scene that follows that when it's again in the past and Nick's mum dies and they have like our marriages in tatters basically.
Oh yeah, that was purely. Is this when he pushes her?
Yeah.
So that if you were to see the visual elements, so he pushes her. I also just love the part when she says, "Oh, it's not good enough," and she hits him and says, "It's not even close." I really kind of was on her side there. But when he pushes her.
Bear in mind, you're not even on her side in this fictional past that she's creating, because that didn't happen.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, also, but that's what's interesting, that it didn't happen, but there's kind of like...
But she's engineering it to be on her side.
But I think what's interesting is that no, these facts didn't happen, but actually through the character of Nick, you do kind of meet this somewhat lackluster, somewhat kind of... Anyway, but my point is, when he pushes her, do you know in composition they talk about the golden spiral? Like in the... But it quite literally does... The staircase is this kind of golden spiral, and she's kind of at the end, just this perfect, beautiful scene. So even when she's being shoved to the ground, it is this. And maybe they're trying to say by the composition that it's constructed.
Yeah.
It's too good to be.
That's interesting. Yeah, really good point. That's nice. You see, Andy, that level of analysis, we don't get that often.
Passes us by, doesn't it?
Yeah. We're going to skip on again a little bit, and it's getting pretty bad for Nick. They find out about the pregnancy, etc., etc. He smashes the glass on the floor, and then a little bit after that, Margot shows up, and they have a proper big argument, and it's a great scene. I pretty much love any scene with Margot in it. I'm gonna just put that out there. I think she's amazing. But the thing I wanted to say about that is that after this bust up, where she's basically accused Nick of murdering his wife.
Nick, why have you kept this stuff? It's like a little box of hate.
I don't know, Go. Maybe I hate her.
I love you, no matter what. But you need to tell me.
Tell you what? What are you asking me? Are you asking me if I killed my wife? Go? Is that what you're asking me, if I murdered my wife?
I would never ask you that.
She leaves in a huff, but she still has time to just give the cat a little pat on the head before she leaves.
Yep.
So good on you, Margot. So it basically is a way, I think, of the filmmakers. They've had this big argument, but she's still part of the gang. She's still one of them. She's just really pissed off at the moment. And then Nick kind of takes it upon himself to be a bit more proactive at this point, and he tries to figure out clue number 3, and he finds the toys in the woodshed.
This is stupid.
Oh no!
Right. So I mentioned the clues earlier. To my mind, it peaks of stupidity at this point, because at that point I call the police and say, well, "I've just found this stuff.
I've just found a robo-dog."
I know, yeah, exactly. Turned on, ready to go. Why would you, unless you were completely stupid, buy all those things on your credit card, stash them in the same place, and
Display them
like it's a prize to a quiz,
Yeah.
right? Or a game
Or a
show.
raffle.
Yeah. And there's literally the box with the, I guess is the Punch and Judy statues at that point, with a bow on, and they get them out. They start looking at them. Well, the toys and stuff. Why are you doing that? Call the police, take photographs of it, stand back and say, "Oh, this is crazy."
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You know, I can understand. I don't agree with him, but I understand why he might want to have kept the thing with Andy under wraps, the affair he's been having, because it is incriminating, right? But the stuff with the toys,
Who stacks goods like that?
stuff that you would actually be using, and I do love the way this is about as analytical as I get on this podcast. I do love the way Rhonda is clearly into her golf. Because on more than one occasion, she's like, "Those are nice clubs." Yeah. Like, she's into the clubs. There's like the robot dog and the TV or whatever else, but those clubs, they're nice.
The whole interior world of Rhonda is just coffee shops and golf
courses. And probably coffees at the golf course.
As I say, she just dreams of like...
Yeah. I also wanted to point out, I don't know if you saw this, Andy, but, you know, a fellow board gamer, but... Dominion and Race for the Galaxy were center stage in that pile of toys and gadgets and things.
Because the games are good.
Okay,
Dominion's a great game.
Dominion is great. Race for the Galaxy is fabulous.
Why would you, like a board game, you know, at that time would have cost like $50.
Not even, but yes.
You buy it, you put it on your bookshelf, no one cares.
With the
you every little part of it, everything. Oh, look, I'll buy $50,000 worth of cool stuff and put it in the same place. Even the bits that I could get away with, like laundering money, you can get away with putting that on your shelf because it's such a... People buy board games.
I love you calling it cool stuff as well, because that is the perfect title for everything that is in the shed. Like, it is the shed of
cool stuff.
I used to watch the Gadget Show when it was a thing back on Channel 4, and it stressed me out actually, because they have like a star prize. It was like £50,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah, I remember. That was
amazing.
amazing.
They were talking about what you get. They'd listed off, and it would take them like 3 minutes. I was thinking, if a truck, and it was a truck, turned up with that stuff, where would it go? I know the answer. In the wood store. Right?
So what you're saying is this was the Gadget Show prize pool.
That's what he's done. He's won
Well,
the
that's the
Gadget
thing.
Show.
So if the police had found exactly this is where it does slightly fall apart, the whole treasure hunt, because if the police had found that before him, surely that leads back to, this feels why would you?
Well, but they don't think that when they find it. I think, yeah, it's
Who stores things like that?
for me. I know you guys are kind of finding more weak links in this film than I am, but for me, this is the weak link in the whole film. It's like, what?
It doesn't
Yeah.
make
It's
any
just so
sense.
staged, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. And if the police found it, they'd be like, well,
What the hell is going on?
this
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, what?
This is so contrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially when you're then having a conversation with Nick and he's saying, no, she's setting me up, she's framing me. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Because look at this ridiculously staged scene here. But anyway, right. We don't normally do this, but we're going to take a break. We meet present day Amy for the first time. She's in her car. She's free. She's giving us a very convenient narration about how to stage a convincing murder.
I mean, again, it's not really a small thing, except from the fact that it's just a great scene. I think of all the scenes, it is one of the most iconic, really. Just the writing is just really good, and it's such a dramatic introduction to the character of Amy. It's just such a curtain drop kind of moment, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do really get a sense at that point of how unhinged she is. It's quite dramatic. My favourite line, actually, is when she's talking about Noelle. We've seen Noelle a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's hard? Faking a pregnancy. First, drain your toilet. Invite pregnant idiot into your home and ply her with lemonade.
She says, invite pregnant idiot into your home. I think it's great.
She's so dismissive. She's
yeah.
utterly dismissive about anyone who's remotely not at her level.
But I don't know if it's potentially worrying, maybe an invitation to me reflect on my own self a little bit here, but I do just find her so much more likable than to Nick. Nick is so just kind of he has no impact, really. He's just kind of like, oh no, and then she comes along and she's like, this is how you get stuff done. It's just,
yeah, well, I mean, Skeleton King beware, right?
well, the guy I met in a park once.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Actually, yeah, the only time I think Nick kind of impresses with his assertiveness is when he decides to do the interview, despite the fact that Andy's just kind of come out and said we're having an affair on TV, and he's like, no, I'm going to own this. I'm like, well done.
So that's kind of one of my points that I didn't really know where to fit it in, but it actually fits in really nicely with this conversation. So most of this film, things are happening to Nick. He is a passenger in this whole thing mostly because of the manipulation by Amy, but also because he's lethargic and quite passive and lazy and down in the dumps and all these things. But this is all happening to him and things go really badly. It's only when he decides to take action and do something positive that things start to go all right. So you mentioned the interview, even solving the clue, the third clue, even though it leads to something bad, he could have, if he'd been more proactive and reported it to the police, it would have been even better. And when he goes, I know this is kind of what he goes to see Tanner, and then Tanner goes into to see the other guy, Tommy. I guess he's being proactive then as well, and things go a little bit better for him. Anyway, that was just my thought. Yeah, he's a passenger for most of this, and it's better for him when he's proactive.
I think that's maybe why you like, almost, even though Amy is doing something that is just crazy, there's this part that you kind of think, wow, yeah, what is this guy doing? Like,
you have sympathy for both of them in their marriage. Let's not talk about like the murder plot and all that kind of stuff, but in their marriage, I think I sympathise with both. She is incredibly controlling and hard to live with, and he is lethargic and a bit of a wet fish.
And yeah, I love the bit when he says, oh, she's always dissatisfied, like, and then it's such a fantastic line. She says, he actually expected me to love him unconditionally. So good.
Oh man. So shortly after the how to stage a convincing murder, it kind of actually ends rather suddenly when she hits herself in the face with a hammer, which is not something I could do, I don't think. It shows you the length at which she's willing to do. But the only thing I wanted to say about that is that she's doing it while she's brushing her teeth. So she has a toothbrush in her mouth when she hits herself in the face with a hammer.
I'd forgotten about that bit, and I thought she was going to hit the toothbrush into her mouth with the hammer. I was thinking, what are you doing? Obviously, that's not what she's doing.
Yeah. But I feel that's high risk, right? Because you don't know how you're going to react when you get hit in the face with a hammer.
It's quite close to her eye.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, what if you fell funny and you landed on your face instead of on your back?
And of course, there is the obvious risk of the fact that you are hitting your face with the hammer.
Yeah.
Was that hammer? Did she buy that hammer for the job?
Well, that was a question I had. She gets it out of underneath the sink in the bathroom from a small toolkit. Was that just there the whole time? Did every cabin in this campground have a toolkit under the bathroom sink?
I think that's a special type of hammer because it had a kind of rounded head.
It's called a ball-peen hammer.
Is it?
Yeah.
It doesn't
Why
sound
do you
like a
know
real
that?
name.
Because my dad was an engineer. He had
Ball-peen.
ball-peen hammer.
Okay, but it's not just a regular hammer. So you.
Well, my dad had a number of ball-peen hammers, but
But it's not that I wouldn't buy one because
it's not a claw hammer. You can't pull out nails with it, for example.
And it hasn't got a flat head.
No, it does. The other end has a flat head. The other side.
Okay, right.
So it's flat head on one side, the ball on the other side.
But I wanted to talk about the noise that it makes because I quite like the thud. It's pretty funny. But the way
Save that for audio corner, maybe.
I don't think she'd be laughing at it, but the way she falls, is that what would happen?
Yeah, because she kind of falls out of the camera, doesn't she? She falls out of the shot.
I don't care. I mean, I don't. But I guess my point is not that I don't care how one would fall. I just don't think it matters. And I think we don't know how one would fall if you hit yourself in the face with a hammer. So it doesn't matter, does it?
I just think it looks a bit crap. I think it would be better off not showing it.
So show her swinging the hammer, but then don't show her face at all.
Because it looks like, I'm not watching in slow motion, but it looks like she starts to do the thing you would do and
get out of the way of it.
Naturally move out of the way, so start falling back before it hits you, which of course makes it more risky even, catch your eye all of a sudden or what have you. It's silly. I like it.
I do like the toothbrush thing because again it shows she's just so matter of fact. It's like it's part of the process.
Yeah.
Like
brush your teeth, get hit in the face.
Is that when she's got the post-it note that just says, at the end of this is the plan to
kill self,
and just a question mark, and it's in.
She wasn't sure what day.
Yeah,
I guess.
She's just so matter of fact. It's like the emotion's taken out. This is just the steps that need to happen.
Yeah, the calendar of insanity is so well organised, isn't it?
mine definitely is.
Skipping ahead a little bit, we meet, or rather, he goes to meet Tanner Bolt. I love Tanner. I think him and Margot are my two favourite non-incidental characters. The best thing about Tanner is that he is always laughing at Nick and his situation.
Nick Dunn, I have been sitting by the phone, my friend. I'm sorry.
Do you not believe me?
No, I believe you. It's just the craziest thing I've ever heard. I mean, I love it. For you, it sucks, but you got to have a grudging respect for your wife at this point, right?
Are you laughing me out of the building?
No, are you kidding me?
Like the first time we see him, pretty much,
Yeah.
you can just tell that Nick's just finished telling him about the whole situation, and he's just laughing at him. And he's like, "What, something like, you don't believe me," or something. He goes, no, I believe you.
No,
it's
he
just
says
the
he
wildest thing I've ever heard.
Or he says something like as well, like, "Are you laughing me out of?"
Yeah, that's it. Good. And then also just after that, Tanner's clearly very good at his job because he instantly finds Tommy O'Hara, and he go on.
So it's just interesting, actually, if you think like Tanner, Nick is surrounded by these people who are more capable and more efficient than him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he goes to meet Tommy, and I think this is probably my favourite scene in the film, when he's in the bar with Tommy, and Tommy's like, I don't know, I just feel like this is, I don't know, it sounds a bit trite, but I feel like this scene is the heart of the film because it's the corroboration of the fact that Nick is not alone. Like, she's done this before. And I love the way Tommy says she's moved on she's graduated or from being raped to being murdered. And I just think it's so good.
I love the line when he says, and guess what's tied up on the bed? And he says, you're the ties that you wouldn't wear. And it's like, you do know you do, yeah. Also, I won't, for the sake of the podcast and the PG, I won't go into the details, but he's describing the scene and he apologises to Nick, like, sorry, I know this is your wife. Like, Nick's face that he makes is so good.
No, he just doesn't care at that point.
He does, though. That's the thing. He kind of looks a bit squeamish, as if like, oh, no, clutching his pearls.
Then we're back with Amy and kind of get that scene with Greta watching the TV and stuff.
So that show they're watching, it's only a little thing, but it tickles me every time I see this. I've seen enough US TV shows to laugh continuously at the speed of the credits. You watch... This is a particularly outrageous example of credits that they're just illegible. It's hilarious. They're watching that show where they're essentially it's about Amy and she's getting a bit mad about Greta's opinion. And then it ends in it made me chuckle.
The fast scrolling credits.
What year is this supposed to be in?
I don't know, 2010-ish?
Yeah.
Like 2012? I don't know. I mean, why?
No, it's just every time they use... I know, the tech tends to be crap. Like really old, apart from the stuff in Denny's house. Everything seems to be like a bit run down and like...
She does go to an internet cafe as well, doesn't she?
The worst...
So, it's in the Ozarks, right?
Yeah.
Having been to the Ozarks, it's not the most affluent area. And so if you're going to a campground on end, be a resident at a campground, it's probably not going to charge very much. And then you've got a crap TV and you've got,
It wasn't just that. I mean, the internet cafe, again, I get it.
See, I don't even think that's the internet cafe. I think that's the lodge of the campground. I think it's like, oh yeah, you want internet access? Yeah, we've got a couple of PCs upstairs. That's my take on it.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of other examples, and I was like, is this? Because I assumed it was just set in the time the book was written, I should say. And
yeah,
it just,
probably.
Some of it just, and you're probably right. It's probably the area and the I guess the priority people put on tech above other things like food, I'd imagine.
Yeah. A little bit later on, still in the Ozarks, they go play crazy golf, and it's a turning point in the film because they see the money belt. But before the money belt thing, I just love the Greta takes a full swing on the crazy golf, and the ball goes absolutely miles. It's just so good. And under her breath, Amy goes something like, "Are we keeping score?"
Yeah,
because she would want to be in control, right?
Yeah.
She would want to win the golf.
Crazy golf, and it's crazy golf.
Yeah, I just love the full swing that Greta takes. It's brilliant. Again, moving forward a little bit, but the money belt situation leads to her basically getting mugged in her own cabin by Jeff and Greta.
Greta, in many ways, she's kind of... I don't like her, but I love the character that she just absolutely... like, Amy's trying so hard to put on this accent and be this person, and then when she mugs her, she's like...
Look under her dress.
He talked you into this?
I talked him into it.
Second you leave, I'm calling the cops.
Your glasses are fake. Your hair's dyed all hamster. You say her name's Nancy, but you don't even answer to it half the time. You're hiding, I don't know why, and I don't really care. But you ain't gonna call the cops. I don't think you've ever really been hit before. Ow! Oh!
Just rips her pretense to shreds. Yeah. And when they're watching the news, she's like, spoiled rich girl, and she just cuts through it, and she's so good for that in the sense that she's like this antidote that just can't be manipulated by Amy.
She's no dummy is the point about Greta, right? Yeah. Just because you are local in the Ozarks or whatever, it doesn't, you don't have to be dumb because you live in a deprived area.
It does such a good job to showing that Amy thinks she's so clever, and she is, but actually there's this kind of this worldly knowledge that she just is lacking.
Yeah. I think Amy messes this whole bit up. Like, the money belt thing annoys me so much. Like, is she complacent at this point? She thinks she's done it so she can kind of, I mean, she does kind of just chill out. Like, she's like in the pool, just like living the good life for a few weeks before she kills self. So I think she drops her guard. And the money belt thing is a disaster. Like, what are you doing? I mean, don't take it crazy golfing with you. Lock it in your car. Or, anything. No? I mean, I don't know. I think...
I mean, the car looks like you could open it with a can opener.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah.
But is it one of those interesting things that they do in films or TV shows when they have this random plot moment, which actually, if, for example, if you were to take away her drop, they need her to drop that money belt because that is where the momentum starts coming from. But it's quite an annoying thing to do because it's kind of like you've got two writers and they're in a room and one's like, oh, but we need to go from point A to C. How are we going to do that?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'll just get her to drop the money belt.
I wonder if that part is in the book.
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know. I can't remember because you're right. It seems a really clumsy way of going from here to here. We need something that's going to change the tide.
Yeah.
And it feels like a completely contrived thing where they've said, okay, let's just do that because then we can move forward.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know whether, I don't remember the book, to be honest, but...
After they leave, after they've stolen her money, she does that scream into the pillow, which I think is great because it's so revealing of her character because she is still keeping up the appearance. Like, these people have just mugged her. They don't care about her. They don't, like...
Jeff does say sorry. Sorry, we really need the money. He's polite about it.
It's like she screams into the pillow so they don't hear her scream. So that it's like she's still keeping up appearances.
Yeah.
She's not showing any weakness at that point, even though these people don't care about her. They have just inflicted this on her. But the only people she's doing that for are them, because like no one else is going. Anyway. I just think it's a really interesting little snippet of Amy's character.
She drives away. She needs to phone. We don't know, but it just
it turns out to Desi.
Yeah. It made me laugh. So she stops at like a service station or something to make the phone call. The public phone is in the worst place because obviously they muted her voice. They don't want us to know.
You can kind of hear a little bit of screaming or something right towards the end of that scene.
But the truck is driving past. It's so loud, and there's no cover. You just imagine anyone making a public phone call from there would be completely impossible to hear what they're saying. The noise, it's really funny.
But there are, if I remember rightly, there are places in America where their phones are like that. They're just out in the open.
The most frustrating thing ever. You'd be like, sorry, what are you saying?
It's just so funny they choose to film it when there's so much noise around. I guess because it helps mute Amy, I suppose, from a cinematic perspective.
It's so that we don't know who she's calling.
But it's so stupid.
Yeah. We then go to the scene with the interview, or at least like the preparation for the interview and then the interview itself.
Yeah, the only thing that I had to say was there's this really funny line when Nick is saying, I'll just continue to say, I'm sorry, I messed up, blah, blah, blah. Or no, actually Margot suggests you just amp up that I'm sorry, I messed up, I'm an idiot. And he's like, yeah, I get it, what men are supposed to do. I just thought it was kind of a line that kind of comes out of nowhere. And it just made me laugh.
Do you agree with that?
What, just need to apologise and... I mean, I feel like...
Good, thank you, that was the right answer,
yeah,
thank you.
No, I do not. I was questioning, I was like, is there part of me that believes that? Let's be honest here.
So it is Desi that she's phoning. And another candidate for perhaps one of my favourite scenes in the film is when Desi is taking her on the tour of the lake house. And it's a massive flex all the way through. He talks about how the bed is Savoy and the this and the that. But my favourite bit is when he goes, the first thing he says, there's music, there's satellite, Netflix.
Welcome. Make yourself at home. I've got music, satellite, Netflix, Roku, internet, obviously.
It's like that for him, for some reason, is the ultimate flex.
And it
Like,
ended up on Disney Plus.
yeah. It's like, I've got Netflix. Like, she should literally go, everyone's got Netflix.
Or like we're literally beside a lake. That's probably the cooler part.
He says, as well, at the end of that bit, he says, internet, obviously. What? If you didn't have internet, I'd be leaving. He's just so awful. So we've already talked about how, even though Amy is the, quotes, villain of the movie, potentially, we don't particularly like Nick, or at least you guys don't particularly like Nick. By far, the least likable and worst character in this film is Desi.
And he's so creepy.
He's so horrible.
He's with Amy, the actual killer, and he is, well, he's soon to be, and yeah, so creepy. And again, what makes him creepy is this role thing that he's like, do you know when he gets to the clothes and he's like, the gym is over there. You know, the sooner you start looking like yourself, the sooner.
He literally buys a makeup, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
He's just like, don't worry, love. Got all the things you need.
He's awful. I mean, obviously, he's scarred by the experiences that he had with Amy when they were at school, and it's basically driven him for the rest of his life. I mean, he's clearly very successful. You have to feel like that success that he's experienced financially was almost for this exact moment, so that he could show Amy everything that she's missed out on.
Yeah.
And the tour of the house is that, isn't it?
He describes the underfloor heating in a weird way. He says, the floor has heating.
He's just
weird, isn't he?
He's horrible. He's absolutely horrible. Played so well by Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's wearing a beige suit, isn't he?
I think he is. Yeah, there's so much beige going on. It's
when they're watching TV, they're watching the interview, aren't they? And he's got this kind of some beige suit on with, I think, no shoes or socks on. It's like a ballet dancer. It's really strange.
Jess, did you want to mention anything about the either them watching the interview or the police finding the woodshed?
It's the interview, so there is a point to just build suspense now. It will be being returned to in Audio Corner.
Excellent.
But just the fact that she's eating this yogurt, I think it is, or is it yogurt or
creme brulee or something like that? Yeah.
Maybe it's creme brulee. Yeah. But it just there's one point where it like dribbles down where she's just so transfixed and he's looking at her like, babe.
Yeah. Well, and also
look at me.
She picks up his as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's like all slim and put her in the gym again.
But also, she just does not care about him, and it's so exposed. You know, she just does not care. She's transfixed, and she says something like, "Oh, I bought him that," and it's great actually because it's the one point where you see him playing her because he puts on the cufflinks, I think it is, or the tie, and says, and there is something satisfying about the fact that even though they may be these awful couple, they just know each other so well, and there is something that's just so kind of appealing about that. Yeah,
the tie and the watch. Yeah,
I think there is a lot to be said about.
And he does the hands on the chin thing, or the fingers on the chin thing.
Yeah, and I think that's when he does do so well from the fake audience because you think, oh, he doesn't kill his wife, but in the real audience you think, oh, he does know his wife.
Oh, the only thing I wanted to say about the finding the woodshed thing was that Rhonda loves golf, but we've already said that.
She's a woman of a few tastes.
Yeah. So at the lake house, a little bit later on, she starts taking control of Desi. It doesn't take long for her to figure out what she needs to do, and she starts manipulating him. She bites his lip and stuff.
So this is just my favourite favourite line. I don't know if it's a little bit further from this, but when she says, "We'll go to Greece," his little hopeful line back is octopus and Scrabble.
Octopus and Scrabble, yes.
It's so good, and I didn't notice it any other time. I watched when I watched it again recently. I was like, how have I missed this line every time? It's just
octopus and Scrabble. That's Desi's dream.
Yeah, you think of Greece and you think of octopus and Scrabble. Like that's what the two images that are paired together.
Oh, you like Desi. Scrabble?
Not really.
Wordsmith that you are? No, okay. No. You like Scrabble?
No.
Oh man, okay.
No, I do not.
I grew up playing Scrabble with my mum, so
I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
I'm also terrible at it.
I can't be bothered. It's like work. I don't know. Anyway.
Do you do crosswords? We're off on tangent.
I tried to teach myself cryptic
Oh, no.
crosswords.
No, no,
Well,
no,
because that's a kind of a language. Once you learn the language, it's actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're giving Scrabble a hard time, but you're a...
And I do crosswords until I can't, and then I move on. So I leave them not even half done, frankly.
Yeah, I mean, that's
that's
how it goes.
Because I just like quizzes, and I like questions, and like,
Yeah.
Anyway.
I just wanted to mention something about they... Obviously, Nick's been arrested at this point, but then they get him out on bond, I think Tanner says. And Tanner has said this a couple of times, and this is the point I wanted to make. In terms of trying to find Amy, Tanner has said, I've got 2 of my best guys working on it. He says it twice, but nothing ever comes of it.
Yeah.
I want to know who Tanner's best guys are, and I want to know how close they got to finding Amy. And I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions there. Who are Tanner's best guys? Why are they so good? What did they do before they worked for Tanner? And why didn't they find...
I think that's them trying to put plaster on a plot hole, because someone could just say, why are you just not trying to find Amy? And it's like, we are trying.
With best guys.
We've got the best guys.
Top men. And then, Andy, you wanted to say something about the murder. The only murder in the movie,
yeah. So I mean, there's a lot to say, which I'm not going to. I mean, it is what it is. But she's after he's died, he's literally just died, and she's kind of sort of kneeling next to him. She just tosses her hair a little bit, like, oh, yep, off we go. It's so weird.
It's like the Hammer again, though, isn't it? She just does these. I mean,
really good, quirky little things.
Because it's all in the plan, right?
Yeah.
The plan, it has gone to plan. Yeah. This caper that I'm on. Off I go.
Caper.
Yeah. It's like
when you slit someone's throat and are covered in their blood. A caper.
It's the murder equivalent of when James Bond straightens his tie when he's underwater. Yeah. You know, it's that kind of thing, isn't it? It's like
when he goes onto the train and does his cufflinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
so
good.
Right. I just wanted to say about when Amy returns to the house for the first time. That imagery is bonkers. It is brilliant. She is covered in what is essentially dried blood, and she stage manages that whole thing so unbelievably well.
It's super similar, both in composition and in not music, but when he pushes her at the steps and she falls at the spiral.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but the scene, you've got all the paparazzi, I think it is, all the report, I don't know who's there, and then you've got the garden path that cuts perfectly kind of diagonal, and he's there and she falls, so it's this like beautiful scene. It's like the ending of a ballet, like ta-da.
Yeah, amazing. And just her appearance is just it's crazy. Isn't it? It's so good. Jess, I think there's like a number of scenes here that you wanted to make an overall point about.
That was about the point about the roles and the fact that, to me, the film is kind of summing up this, or leading us to this point about kind of who we feel we need to pretend to be, who we are worried that other people think we are. You know, I mean, there's so many different things going on. There's so many different conversations of, I might be repeating myself, but when he says about the, if we ever become this type of couple, this type of girl, Amy's this type of person, Nick was pretending to be this person. Yeah. And it does make, I think the whole point is it's meant to lead you to this final question of, well, if you're pretending to be these people, then who are you actually? Behind all of these roles, who are you? And I think that's why the end scene is so good, because I don't think by the end, but I think Amy knows who she is. But she's very good at putting on roles, but she knows who she is. Whereas Nick is still kind of trying to pretend that he doesn't like Amy, and he's saying to Margot, I have to stay because of the child. And Margot's like, no, you're not.
Margot sees through him.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention once again that just as Tanner leaves, he is again laughing at Nick. Which is so, it's like he laughs at when he first meets Nick, and he laughs when they part.
Mm-hmm. So, Amy turns up at the house.
Yeah.
Right. As you say, it's actually quite a nicely staged scene, isn't it? She's, as you say, she's covered in blood. She then goes, I guess, to the hospital to get checked out. There's police there. They talk to her,
FBI.
and then they come home. Only at that point do they wash the blood off? What's going on? Wait, I don't understand it. Why?
That is true, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
why? She's literally in hospital.
Yeah. It's
No,
they...
but the hospital only cares about her welfare, not her appearance. I mean,
she's literally covered head to toe in dried blood.
It's because they wouldn't be able to have the shower scene if they need the.
They could have the shower scene. They
No,
didn't
yeah.
have to have the blood for the shower scene. It struck me as slightly weird, but at the same time, I kind of get it. That her welfare is important.
You went to hospital and you did a massive cut down your leg, right? And you had blood all over the leg. They're gonna clean it up.
Are they? They'll clean the wound.
They kick you out with blood all down everywhere.
Do you think it's because they want us to see the blood being washed off in that kind of metaphorical fresh start?
Literally, they're interviewing her and she's covered in blood. I'm like, dude, go get it washed. Go clean yourself up. Then we'll have it all. Go look after yourself first, and then answer our questions.
You would say
it's
that.
So strange.
You've just because if you believed her, if you believed that she'd been through this traumatic experience, this awful experience, surely you'd say go and eat some food, wash yourself, and
she's driven. I don't know, whatever, 2 hours. Covered in blood.
There's also that I think what you're saying is right though. It's for the metaphorical washing, and in the shower. That scene's amazing, by the way. In the shower. It's really only after her motives become clear that she then starts properly. The blood starts washing off her, and so.
It's funny that there are so many. Once you have a critical eye of a film and you watch it that many times, there are so many moments where you're like, "What? Why?"
Yeah.
So my favourite scene of the entire film was when he whacks her against the wall. And I can't say
there's
the
some
words.
bad language.
Some very bad language.
Some bad words.
But she says, "I'm it. You think you'd be happy with some?" I think I was a Midwestern girl.
Yeah.
She says, "Yeah, you think you'd be happy with some Midwestern girl? No, baby, I'm it." And she's got this little piece of hair just above the front of her face, and it's just, do you know? You watch them as a couple, and there's part of you that's like, it's kind of. I don't know. You're just like, yeah, I get it.
So good together.
Well, there's part of that. You do have this part that's like, I can kind of see why she kind of is it, So, yeah, I kind of get it. Yeah, I was just wondering, what do you both think of that scene?
It's like you just said to us off air. What he does it's not good, right? But she's manipulating him to the point where he has no outlet. Like he's completely powerless in every aspect of his life. So it's abuse on both sides. But I don't really know how I feel about. I guess it just proves that they're like you said, they're right for each other. They deserve each other in some weird way.
Yeah, I think it's the most kind of visceral illustration of the power struggle between them. She's got not the intellect, but the desire to kind of twist the knife and mentally and emotionally abuse him. And when it comes down to it, he's not that adept and falls back to a little bit of violence. But yeah, I think you see that power struggle probably most. I guess it might be the only time you see that face to face battle between them like that. So yeah, it's super powerful though.
I think it is worth saying, not that the physical violence is right in any way, but it's the only time he's physically violent with anyone, aside from smashing a glass, which doesn't really count. Because the violence we see previously to that it's made up. It's her false tale.
Yeah.
So he's not a violent man. I mean, I guess that scene would prove otherwise. But anyway, I'm not trying. I guess I am trying to defend Nick, but not in a very vigorous way.
I think it's just compelling scene because they see each other clearly. She sees that he wants to be with her, no matter what he says, no matter what she's put him through. Actually, the person he wants is someone who's. I mean, I think.
Do you think she sees that?
I think so, because she, even though she is a bit of a, I mean, she's crazy, but like Margot says at the end, because he says, Margot, you're my voice of reason. So you've got both kind of, let's say, the voice of insanity in Amy, saying, let's face it, you want to be with me. You're not going to be satisfied. You're not going to be challenged. You're not going to be. with any, that no one else is going to cut it. And then you've got Margot, who is in many ways the antidote, the antithesis to, and she says, "You want to be with her, don't you?"
She sees it.
Yeah, and the voice of reason quite literally says, "You want to be with her."
Yeah. So you mentioned it, that scene with Margot, that's one of probably in my top 2 or 3 scenes. I've mentioned a couple of times how much I like Margot. I just think maybe it's the way the actor portrays her, and it also may be connected to the fact that my kids are twins, and I like to think that they have this really tight bond. I'm a twin. You're a twin,
yeah.
So I don't know whether you feel similarly, but I just find it really affecting her trauma and anguish. It just resonates with me. And she just does it so well. It's so well acted, that final scene. I also wanted to just say something quickly about Nick and Margot. So they're twins. I looked at on Wikipedia today. Ben Affleck is 9 years older than Carrie Coon. That's a bit awkward, I think. I mean, films play fast and loose with ages of characters quite often, like people in their 20s playing high school students and stuff. But especially they play fast and loose with women's ages, and women age for the film purposes faster than men. And I just think that's really unfortunate. I mean, I wouldn't want anyone else to play Margot because I think she's amazing, but at the same time, that's a bit unfortunate. I remember hearing that in North by Northwest, the woman that plays Cary Grant's mum was younger than Cary Grant at the time, which is...
There are so many Hollywood couples in films where the couple, like, I can't remember, the age difference is just crazy as well, and yeah, it's not great. I think that's it for the small stuff. We will take a break. Okay, we'll do the categories. We're going to do the quick hits first, and they really will be quick at this time because there were no backhanded spit wipes. I'm looking at Andy just to make sure he confirms that.
No, I thought there might have been 1 or 2, but no, there aren't.
Okay. No use of binoculars. Andy's hat.
There's not many hats.
No.
There's one, notable one, is the baseball cap that Nick puts on in the airport. And that's it, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I've got written down.
It's so effective. Why is it you can have a suit on, kind of a travel suit, you stick a black hat on, no one knows who you are.
It's the classic disguise, right? Yeah. If you don't want to be noticed or recognised, you put on a baseball cap.
Is it a counterpoint now, though? Because I find myself, if I see someone with a nicely fitting, because they're always nicely fitting, slightly more expensive looking hats, walking around, I kind of... I find myself...
They want to be anonymous. I wonder who they are.
As a celebrity
precisely.
Or a spy.
Yeah, precisely. Right. Anyway,
and it's a Mets cap. I just want to say,
it is a Mets cap. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and bad ways to die. There's really only one death in the film.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of neck stuff, but to be fair, he has a bit of fun beforehand, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If you have to die.
If you got to go,
then.
Yeah.
That's the way. So not even a bad way to die. It's pretty bad though. It's
grim.
It's pretty grim. Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
sorry, Desi.
The blood was pumping, shall we say? It is extra dramatic because of that. Do you think that it was kind of partly her plan? Like, I don't know. Anyway,
I don't want to talk about it.
No, okay, let's not. Fine.
Well, I was just gonna say, I guess it's easier to kill. Probably just because his guard is down. So yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, I concur.
There was a Roger Moore-esque joke I was going to insert there, but I'm not going to.
You could. Go on.
I knew. I kind of was. I can kind of imagine where the joke was going.
Yeah, that's all. Moving on.
So let's visit Audio Corner.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sound design in general was actually really beautiful and probably one of my favourite elements. Sound, like, effect-wise, it's the glass of wine he pours during the interview. And she's so mad about it. She's like, "What are you doing?" And And it does kind of make
Wait,
you
with the
jump.
interview... Which interview?
When she's watching the interview with...
Oh, yeah.
He
Okay.
pours his glass of wine and they really kind of amped up the sound of the wine being poured, and she looks at him with these daggers. And then otherwise than that, it was just... I love when she does the diary entries, and there's this really kind of ambient, immersive, quite floaty music, and then it just is always so nicely paired to what's going on when he kisses Andy for the first time.
On the very first night that we met, we walked by a bakery that was having their sugar delivered. And it was in the air everywhere, a sugar storm. And before he kissed me, he leaned in and did this. And guess what?
What?
He did the exact same thing with her.
That is the most disgusting thing I ever heard.
Thank you.
I love the bit when Greta says that's so disgusting, and you're like, yeah, it is. But it's just like really queasy kind of sounding, and it's just really nice. I think the whole sound design in general.
So I wanted to mention some music as well, because there is like some pounding, thumping bass when Amy has the money stolen, and I just loved that. That kind of, it's the music that goes along with the whole. My whole plan is completely destroyed. What the hell am I going to do with myself? Thing. She also says this is not really audio, but I didn't know where else to put it. When they both buy each other the same sheets for their anniversary, she says, "We're so cute. I want to punch us in the face."
Yeah.
I just like maybe I just like the line. I don't know.
It's very Amy. It's very on brand for Amy.
I'd like to give my Audio Corner award, though, to just the cicadas in North Carthage. The noise that cicadas make is so evocative of being in the Midwest at that time of year.
Hey, buddy. What are you doing out here? Thanks, Wolf!
It was one of the first things I noticed when I moved there from the UK. It's such a unique sound, and it just sets the scene for me perfectly.
I've also got some sort of ambient music. I think when Amy's describing the setup of the murder, I think it's quite slightly menacing audio kind of music that's going on in the background as she's describing
how to stage a convincing murder.
Yeah, that's quite nice. I've already mentioned the thud of the hammer when she hits her in the face. I think that's pretty good. I wonder how they made that noise.
It's usually something like a watermelon or like a chicken breast or something.
Yeah, but you've already mentioned it. But the noise I'm gonna targeting on that one is the golf swing noise Greta makes. So they've clearly just got a library shot of someone with a driver from a golf course, like properly
Tiger Woods
whacking a ball, because you can kind of hear the tee ping as well.
Yeah.
And they've just put that on her little. I know she does whack it, but it's pretty funny.
It's with a putter. You've got to connect pretty well with a putter to make that noise.
Sort of swiping it through the air. It's brilliant. So yeah, it's the golf swing noise for me.
Oh! Are we keeping score?
Did you? I realised that you didn't pick a winner.
Okay, a specific winner. Ooh,
Yeah.
I think it probably would be the sound when Andy and Nick kiss, because it's so perfect. It's just perfect.
Okay. Is it perfect?
No. Did I stutter? I did.
Right, let's go to best looking scene. Andy.
Right. Okay. So, honourable mention to the mini golf course. I think that's really nicely lit. There's a lot of mini golf. No, I just think it's quite nice because there's some folks sat on like the veranda in the background, and all that's lit up, and there's this kind of less harsh lighting on the golf course. There's also a great shot of the cat quite early on. I think they're coming into the house, or I think Margot's coming into the house, shutting the door, and she looks down, the cat's there, and so it's dark, and the cat is sort of gently lit from, I guess, ambient light from the moon or something, and then you've got flashlights going off. And it's just this little shot of this cat sat there, like those are flashlights. I like that. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the best one for me is right at the start when they kiss outside the bakery, and you got the flour in the air as they're unloading the flour, and
Sugar.
it's kind of sugar, whatever it is, and it's all kind of ethereal kind of lighting, and no, there you go. So
Yeah.
sugar.
So can I just like drill down a little bit? Is there a particular moment in that you particularly like? Is it the shot of like them kissing, or is it the wide shot of all of the sugar in the air?
It's always the wide shots for me.
Yeah.
So there's a slightly creepy bit when he kind of wipes it off her face.
I feel like I'm gonna have to. Well, it's a contender between the Sugar Storm. It is just beautiful, isn't it? And it's interesting how the equivalent of Andy and Nick kissing is, because you've got the snow coming down. Yeah. So it's similar in some ways, but it's not quite as beautiful, not quite as perfect.
No,
even
it
though
doesn't
I just
work.
called it perfect twice.
Yeah. But it doesn't work, does it?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't brush snow off someone's face, because snow doesn't do that.
So so actually there are strong points for that, but a bit that I think, if you're like, it's not beautiful, but the bit where she does slit his throat and you've got all the white and she's wearing this white lingerie and the white the bedding, and then just the amount of blood, just the contrast is just actually such a striking image. So there
you go, best looking scene.
Make a lovely poster, wouldn't it?
100%. I want it in, if someone walks into my house, the first thing that they see.
We're learning quite a lot about you, Jess. So I've got a few nominees as well. I'm going to mention the Sugar Storm, but I agree. For me, it's the first shot we see with the guys in the bakery, and then they're walking down towards the camera, and the sugar's all lit, and I think that looks amazing. The shower scene looks incredible. I mean, they're both pretty attractive human beings in the shower. She's got the blood all over her, and it's an amazing shower. It's an enormous shower. And just it looks incredible. The lighting is good as well, and the color, all the grey of the tiles and things looks great. But I'm going to give it to. It's cat themed. I'm going to give it to the scene. I think it's the first morning after she's back. So it's the day after the shower scene, and she gets tucked into bed or whatever, and then he comes down and she's like cooking. And what does she say? Like, "Hello, handsome," or something like that. But anyway, the first shot we see is her in the kitchen cooking, and then the cat is sitting on the kitchen island or something, facing him, I think. And it's like, wow, look at this perfect domestic scene of a wife cooking breakfast and your cat waiting for you as you come down there. And it just looks brilliant. And it's the cat wins it for me. So that's my pick for best looking scene. The Monsieur Mendel Award for our favourite incidental character.
Can I go next? Because it's quite a good.
Yeah, please do.
My 100%, and I've been biting my tongue, or afraid. The cat. The cat is my favourite incidental character. And I've been waiting to say this and not bring up the cat. And every time you guys have mentioned the cat, I've been like, yes, the cat. It comes up so much that Rhonda says, he asks me to feed the cat. He's got a separate room. There's so many bits when you're saying about Margot, when Nick just picks him up and brings him into the scene, and they never really, not that you need to explain a cat, but it's just, I've never known a film where except from maybe Alien. Is it Alien? Yeah. Never known a film where the cat has actually such a notable.
Do we know the cat's name?
I don't think it ever gets mentioned.
Shame.
No, it is a shame.
I think, is he the epitome of an incidental character, the cat? Because he didn't have to be there for any of those scenes, but he makes the film richer for being there.
Yeah.
And it's
and
great.
I can always imagine asking the director why, and the director's been like, I don't know.
Why not?
Quite like cats.
Well, they are all nice to the cat.
Yes.
I mentioned the big fight that Nick and Margot have, and Margot pets the cat just before she leaves.
Yeah.
So the cat is the true innocent in all of this.
Mine is pregnant idiot Noelle. I think they perhaps amp up her idiocy a little too much, because she's really annoying. The time when she's just knocking on the door, ranting, And Rhonda's like, just remind her this is a crime scene. Yeah, she's like, open the door. Like, she's the most important thing in this entire thing. But yeah, she's my favourite.
Mm-hmm.
She's just silly, but there we are.
So I struggled a little bit to really kind of get my own definition of incidental in this, because as is the way of this film, I think if you're in this film, you're in it for a reason.
Well, you wait
mostly.
for the closing credits.
Okay, all right, good. But you see what I mean, though? Like,
yeah.
For example, I'm going to give it to this person, but he's not incidental. He's quite important. I'm going to give it to Tommy O'Hara.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you, I love that scene in the first place, and I'm going to undermine the whole point of incidental character with my reason for why I'm picking him. He's so important in this film. Without his testimony to corroborate Nick's crazy story rather, about Amy's craziness, we're still not really sure. But he is like I said it earlier, the heart of the film. But I'm defending it because he's not in it very much. He's in it for one scene. It's pretty short, and so I'm going to say he's incidental, even though he isn't. I also want to. I would definitely mention the cat.
Yeah, of course.
I want to mention Watchful Wally, the guy that lives opposite them. That
he
seems
was
to
a
be
contender.
He seems to be always on his porch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Walt. And so I don't know if he has a name. He might in the credits. I haven't looked. But the second deputy. So we've got Rhonda's main deputy that doesn't really like Nick very much. But there's one scene when they're at the house, and there's like a second deputy that's like. She asks him how big is that TV, and a couple of other things. Oh yeah, and he said something about how the thing they found was in her unmentionables. I think the second clue or the first clue. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I thought he was. I mean, he's probably the most incidental because he's just like police guy number 2. What's the best location?
I do like the mini golf course.
Good.
But
shout 3 for mini golf.
I don't know.
It really resonated with you, that golf course.
No, I'm going with Desi's Lake House.
Yeah.
I think
it has Netflix.
And the floor has heating. Yeah.
What more do you need?
We don't really see enough of the lake house, do we? Like I'd like to.
They show you a little bit on the outside.
Gym, for example.
So there's that kind of veranda that I assume overlooks the lake. I'd like to see it from the outside, but it's a spectacular place to hang out.
Yeah. I suppose the reason we don't see more of it is that she has to feel trapped there, right? Yeah. It can't be airy, really, in that sense, can it?
Yeah. So and obviously, a pretty iconic scene happens there. So that's my favourite. And it's got Netflix.
Any nominations?
The mini golf course.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Of course.
And the bar. I like the bar, but.
So the bar gets a few kind of comments, doesn't it? Like very meta and that kind of stuff. I think it's a really good name for a bar.
Yeah.
I think so.
Like, where are you going to go? I'm going to go to the bar. Mm-hmm. And like, okay, there is only one place.
There probably is one bar in that town. Probably.
Very possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the name is not just a lazy.
Location. I am going to say either Desi's Lake House.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, it's a weird. I think that's my nomination. But the winner is when at the first party when they're going down in that lift.
Mm-hmm.
They're like a warehouse lift.
Yeah, because the reason I kind of love it is that you've got this party in the house, and then you've got the lift is what takes them to the street with the sugar, and they don't really feel like that lift would belong in that house, in that flat, but it does tell a perfect story of kind of like meet at a party. It's quite a fun kind of good energy in the party. You go through this cool kind of warehouse vibe, and then there's a beautiful sugar storm outside. So it just tells the story well. So.
I approve. Very good. I have a few nominations. I did nominate Desi's house, the lake house, of course. The bookstore, where they have their second anniversary.
With the secret room that no one knows about.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really a room. It was just between bookcases. Yeah.
It's the most ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. But it looks cool, though.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool bookstore.
I don't know if that's included with the books.
And there is one shot when they go to St. Louis for the interview. There's one shot of the St. Louis Arch, with the courthouse underneath it. Having been there multiple times, the St. Louis Arch is as incredible as it looks. In fact, actually, I think it's better in person than it looks on TV. And so, but I'm going to give the win to the shower. I think the shower is just awesome. It's just, yeah. What souvenir would you take from this film? Prop or item or something from the film? What would you go with?
So I'm slightly torn. So I'm going to mention the hammer again. I would take that hammer.
The ball peen hammer
would be quite useful. But I quite like the hammer. It'd be funny to have on the wall in a case, or just in your toolbox.
Yep.
I do like Margot's "Protect Your Nuts" T-shirt she wears at the start.
I don't think I paid any attention to that.
I would like that in a frame. I think that would be funny.
Well, can you describe it to us? I don't know what it looks like.
You got to pause it, and it kind of. I mean, I had to look quite hard to see what it said, but it was quite. Is
it like a squirrel or something?
Well, yeah, it's like a comical thing, like someone, like a little cartoon character of an animal, I think, running away with a nut from a bowl.
Okay.
Protect your nuts, like it. It's good.
It's a great T-shirt.
It is a good T-shirt. So I'm tossed up between that and my other nomination. Oh, I've got another nomination of the gummy bears. I like gummy bears. I would take gummy bears. I'd probably just eat them though. So
yeah, you'd have to be careful when you
Tanner's gummy bears. Yeah. I think I might go for the Rolling Rock illuminated beer sign in the bar at the start.
Yes.
There's a nice beer sign, but it's probably quite generic actually. So,
but you'd have the one from the film.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, it's a nice light. It looks good. Yeah. So
that'd be great.
I'll take the beer sign, and then if not, someone else had that. I'll have the Protect Your Nuts T-shirt.
Okay, good.
So it is. I mean, I'm really tempted to say the Robo Dog because I just love this idea of Nick just sat with his card, or Amy being like, "What's cool stuff number 52?" Like
they give quite a lot of attention to the robot dog. I'm not really sure why. It's just really stupid.
I think it's because it is just it's expensive, and no one in this world needs a Robo Dog.
Frivolous
is the perfect word. So
he's got a real cat. Why does he need a Robo Dog?
It's a real cat who he adores. So if I can't take Robo Dog or the cat, actually, mine is the pink fluffy pen, because I love her just destroying absolute. Just the most menacing behaviour with writing this. She's got beautiful handwriting as well. Beautiful handwriting, and she's just destroying this guy's life with this pink fluffy pen.
Good move.
Yeah.
I really struggled with this category.
Have the hammer.
You've already got those.
My dad's got some. I'm good. So I was going with the pens. So you've gone for the pink fluffy.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, we can pick the same thing, all right? But
can we? Because I kind of want the pink fluffy pen. So.
But I want the one, and I don't know what it is, but it's got like an outline of something, and I couldn't tell whether it's an outline of a flamingo, or if it's like the outline of the Monaco Grand Prix circuit. I honestly couldn't tell what it was.
It reminds me of that circuit art you can get that you can put on your wall. It looks like a track, doesn't it? But it's bound not to be. I mean, it's nonsense.
But that one, it's just a pen with like a sort of a 3D outline of something at the end of it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think they're quite good choices considering we work together. We can both have the coolest pens in the studio.
Okay. Yeah, good. And we would use them? We wouldn't keep them as like trophies?
Maybe if I was kind of writing a
death note to someone.
Yeah, like a really super passive aggressive post-it note.
Okay. Yeah.
Then maybe
to me, presumably, on the desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Call Me Bronco Coolest Look Award.
Do you know, I was quite tempted Amy's kind of outfits in Desi's house after she's got changed into that white dress, because she just looks so slick. And
that white outfit she wears.
She looks amazing. She looks great. But I'm going to go... I don't actually like the outfit, but I think it just works so well for the character, is Amy's mum, when they're doing the search, and she's wearing these sunglasses and these pearls and these boots and this beige outfit, and you just think, ugh. Like,
I'm happy for you to go for that.
Yeah.
But I just do need to say the name of this category is the
Coolest.
Call Me Bronco Coolest look.
What,
but it's fine. You go.
Well, I would say then let me split. So the best outfit for character kind of choice for it matches the character so well. Mary Beth. Coolest outfit, Amy in the house in her white dress.
Okay,
Final answer.
Got it. Good. Andy?
It's difficult to not say anything Amy wears. She looks pretty incredible in almost everything.
Yeah.
But particularly, I think my act, I'm going to pick at the start, Amy at the start. When we first see her in the party, she just looks incredible. And she's wearing that blue stripy top, and then she puts a really chic coat on over the top when they leave.
Yeah.
Very nicely done. Honourable mention to Nick's St. Louis Cardinals t-shirt. I think that's pretty good. One of the only times you see him not wearing a blue shirt, I think.
Yeah.
It is.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Amy's start-off outfit, I think.
Yeah.
It's exceptional.
So anything Tanner Bolt wears, for me, is pretty cool. Again, you're right. Anything Amy wears, mostly apart from the stuff at the Ozarks.
And the blood. It's not a good look.
But her murder outfit,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you meant by white
Kind of.
dress.
I guess it's the collab, the both. Yeah.
Yeah, so the whatever it is she's wearing, the slinky white murder dress.
It's great.
I really like.
Yeah.
Murder dress.
Yeah.
Like one of those murder dresses.
But I am going to give it to Nick's St. Louis Cardinals t-shirt.
No.
I mean,
it's a good t-shirt.
Ben Affleck's he's quite a buff guy. So, but it was a refreshing change. Like you mentioned his normal wear, and then when I saw him in that, I'm like, oh, okay.
It is funny that they decide, because he's in this shirt so much that you start noticing it, and then he just has a sudden t-shirt.
Yeah. And he looks good in it, and it's a cool t-shirt. It's like it's not a typical necessarily like Cardinals t-shirt, I would say. It just looks good. So yeah, that's my pick.
I'm gonna have to go back to your murder dress, because I love this idea of being like, are you gonna wear a nice top and jeans, or are you gonna wear your murder dress? I think it's the murder dress tonight.
Well, it depends what we're going to be up to.
Bit of murdering.
Yeah. We will finish, as we always do, with closing credit.
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier that there's not much wheat. No, chaff. There's not much chaff to the wheat of the main cast. But there's loads of people credited for this film, and I was confused. I didn't really... I mean, I suppose there's a load of extras in the search and the kind of the event they hold, the vigil. But there's one guy, Mr. Darren Cooper, who is simply Mustached Man. I've said this before.
I can always count on you to find.
I've said this before. I'll say it again. Can you imagine being a character whose only distinguishing feature is that he has a mustache? That's the only thing he does. Who's that guy over there? That's Mustached Man.
Yeah. He's an important enough extra to be billed.
Yeah, because there is a whole bunch of uncredited. And I do myself. Well, the little rule I have is I never pick uncredited, but if you were to look on IMDb, you will see a whole bunch of uncredited people with better names than a Mustached Man. And it's not like he's a big deal. I had a look at some of his other stuff. His other credits include Creepy Diner Guy.
Yes.
This is a whole kind of world that I had not explored, but I really
Welcome to closing credit.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Older Man. Not old man. Older Man. What? And my favourite, Sketchy Man.
Ooh. Whoa.
Maybe that's how you progress from you don't look after the moustache for a while and you become Sketchy Man.
I would like to know whether Sketchy Man is because he's slightly, a bit dodgy, so he's sketchy, or is it because
is he an
he's
artist?
badly drawn?
Oh, he's an artist. He's sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Creepy Diner Guy, Older Man, and Sketchy Man, and in Gone Girl, Darren Cooper is Mustached Man.
Fabulous.
Well done.
All right, I think that will probably do it for this episode. Jess, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
It was fun. It was lots of fun.
Thank you. Andy, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks from me. Thanks for listening. Next time, we will probably be doing Ocean's 11. I think we'll have Chris back on the pod with us, and so we're looking forward to a bit of Steven Soderbergh's Ocean's 11. Maybe give it a watch if you want to join along. But don't forget the small stuff.